and I was wondering if you have ever wanted to go to a big city with bright lights and lots of people. Well, I wanted to, so after some thinking, I decided to go to New York City. Today, I'm going to tell you about 3 main attractions that many people from around the world go to visit each year in New York. They are Grand Central Station, Times Square, and Central Park. Our first stop is Grand Central Station. According to MTA, it is the largest and greatest railway terminal on Earth. Grand Central Station was completed in 1913 and cost $80 million to complete. The terminal covers a whopping 69.8 acres of land, and in New York especially, that's a lot of land. It also has 123 different tracks and is used by 75 to 100,000 people daily. Grand Central Station is also considered a landmark to many. Not only is it one of America's greatest transportation hubs, but it is also one of New York City's most iconic buildings. Grand Central Station isn't only known for its great architectural designs, but also because it has a massive 2-story underground train yard. It is also considered one of the most desired places for public events to be held. So there's more to do here than just travel. There's many plays and small fairs held at Grand Central Station, and there's also many food options and specialty shops to visit even if you're not traveling and you just want to stop by. Now let's move on to our next stop, a little north of here, to Times Square. Times Square is where you find a lot of diversity and most of your entertainment in New York. With all the bright lights, there is no way you can resist Times Square while in New York. Times Square is what you see every year on TV when you watch the ball drop on New Year's Eve. And according to BBC News, it's estimated that about 37 million people visit Times Square each year. There's so much to do in Times Square. With over 100 shops and restaurants, you'll find something to enjoy there. There's also attractions such as the Ripley's Believe It or Not Museum and the Ferris wheel located in the middle of the Toys R Us store. While you're in Times Square, you have to stop by one of the must-see Broadway shows. There's shows for all ages throughout the year, and some of the well-known shows include The Lion King, Mamma Mia, and Wicked. Now on to our final stop, Central Park. According to NewYork.com, the first purpose of the park was to refute the European view that Americans lacked a sense of civic duty and appreciation for cultural refinement. So basically the first purpose of the park was to prove the Europeans wrong. And after a long debate on the location of the park, construction finally began in 1857. The original park spanned 2.5 miles across New York, and then after the expansion project, it expanded to half a mile longer. During the construction of the park, about 1,600 people were evicted from their homes because that's where the park was being built. When the park was first built, it seemed as though it was for the upper class people because many of the working class people weren't going to walk that far uptown to go to the park. And the first playground with jungle gyms and slides was completed in 1926 at Central Park, but a lot of people didn't like this because many people viewed the park as a place for adults to go and escape from everything else. And in the 60s and 70s, this park started being used for concerts and rallies, and it just made it kind of trashy, and a lot of maintenance was needed. And so the park has really changed a lot since then, to today. New Yorkers started a campaign called You Gotta Have a Park, and they worked to clean the park up. Now the park has millions of visitors each year and is used as a recreational space, but not like it was. And the park has many activities such as a rollerblading day and free performances and fairs for the community and tourists. In conclusion, I hope that you enjoy everything I've told you about New York and you want to go experience it for yourself. You can go visit some of the many main attractions such as Grand Central Station, Times Square, and Central Park, since you now know more about them. Now pack up your bags and go. Thank you for your time.